So, all right, here I'm Vishali Nair, the founder and managing director of Enduring Genesis. And here I'm again on day 15 of my Women Empowerment Mastery Program. I'm so sorry I could not log in on 18th August and 19th August at the stretch, and 28th being the Sunday. I could not really take out time for all of you. So I'm so extremely sorry for this, and I really feel that because there were so many emergencies on 18th. I had to help out a friend who was in a emergency, had undergone a surgery. On 19th, I was busy with one of the Rotary event, which was about the prostate cancer awareness program. So all these things, they kept me occupied for these 2 days, girls, and that's why I could not log it. But today we are going to talk about a very important skill which I feel that we all have, but sometimes maybe we don't have that much exposure or that much experience to go with, and implement it at our workplace, in our businesses, in our, startups, everywhere. So that important skill is about negotiations, right? All excited? Yes, so I see a lot of comments here coming in, and I'm so happy that you all are here on this day. So, hello, Soumya. Yeah, hi, Shanaya. Very good evening, Rajesh. So happy that you all are here, and there are many who are there logged in, and I can see that they are so excited to know more about this particular skill, that is the negotiation skill. So, without wasting time, I'm directly going to jump into this topic, which is going to help you immensely in flourishing your career as well as applying these skills at workplace in your businesses. So, let's go and deep dive in this. Yeah. So, uh, yes. So, negotiation skill. So before we actually get into this skill, what I want all of you to understand, what is negotiation, right? So anyone in the chat box can type, what is negotiation. Any kind of yeah, yeah, absolutely. It's an dialogue or conflict resolution, right? Absolutely right. So negotiation, classically it's a dialogue between two parties to resolve the conflicts or the issues, so that both the parties, they find the solution which is acceptable to both of them, right? So usually it is a compromise. Yeah, it's a compromise involving give and take. So negotiation results when each party compromises to resolve the conflict for everyone's benefits. So in the workplace, negotiations may take place between managers, departments, colleagues, or between a team member and a manager, or at the business with your clients, with your business partners, or with your customers directly if you are into that role, or anywhere, even in your relationships, whenever there are situations when you get into conflicts, maybe with your close friends, maybe with your siblings, maybe with your life partner, spouses. Yeah, so even before you join the workplace, you may negotiate the job offer. So such kind of, examples, this is classically done with the interviewer or HR manager, right? So having said this, I just want to understand, how many of you have some kind of conflicts ongoing at your workplace, or in your business, or in your startups, where you're stuck up because of the negotiation not happening properly. So can you type yes in your chat box? Yes. Yes. So I see a lot of people, they are struggling. The participants who are here today, they are struggling. And I just want to, quickly, define the importance, of the negotiation skills, and what are negotiation skills, right? So, uh, negotiation skills are inherent qualities, right? They are inherent qualities that help two or more than two parties agree to common logical solution. So, having said this, it's a method which is by which people settle differences. It is a process by which compromise or agreement is reached while avoiding argument and dispute. Yeah. So in any disagreement, if you see individuals, they understandably they aim to achieve the best possible outcome for their position, right? So this is classically the nature of the human being, that they want to negotiate and they want to settle with the best possible good outcome for which is beneficial to both of the parties. But there are some areas, there are some situations, there are some circumstances wherein you are not in a position to resolve the conflict, and that is where negotiation skills as a line manager or as a group leader or as a functional head or a business leader or a business man or woman, it is so important that we understand what are negotiation skills and how we can quickly learn them and apply them in our day-to-day lives. Yeah. So, however, the principles of fairness, seeking mutual benefit, and maintaining the relationship are the keys to successful negotiation, right? So, having said this, now there are specific forms of negotiations which are used in many situations. So, anyone can, yeah, anyone can, put it into chat box. Yeah. So, some of you are saying international affairs, some are saying, yeah, government, yeah. Absolutely. Some with the teams, yeah, right. With the cross functions, yeah, multiple stakeholders. So these are all examples, domestic relationship, or for that matter, the legal system. So, however, general negotiation skills can be learned and applied in a wide range of activities. That's what I'm trying to tell you. That this can be applied anywhere in your day-to-day life, in your businesses, at your workplaces. So they can be of great benefit in resolving the differences, if any, that arise between you and others. So, having said this, what I want to make you understand, you can, at any point of time, at any time rather, you can actually display your negotiation skills in various situations, like, to give some examples, negotiating a salary hike with the HR manager or with your line manager after promotion, or negotiating a project deadline, right? So with your team lead or with your managers or with your stakeholders, if you are a project head, right? So negotiating few days off for a family holiday or a vacation with your line manager. I mean, I'm just giving examples which can happen at workplace, or negotiating, for businesses, negotiating contract terms with a potential customer, or actually, having the kind of a contract agreement between your clients. So, lack of negotiation skills actually affects the business bottom line, and it could also ruin customer relationship if it is not handled properly, right? So negotiation skills are soft skills, and they're very much essential to become a negotiator and resolve the workplace or the business conflicts. Yeah. So, yes, absolutely, Raji. Absolutely. You are saying it. Yeah. Because they are so, so essential in today's life when we have multiple stakeholders. Even if you take classically, a woman, a homemaker, she deals with so many, helps, domestic helps which are available to her. For example, the top servant, the cook, or the driver, or the security guard, or the housekeeping guys, those homemaker, or if you see siblings, your spouses, your family members. So these are all the examples of, actually your personal relationships, right? But there are so many examples which I can widely give, which are so much essential at workplace. Like if you are, doing the kickoff of a project, then you really have to negotiate about, how you want to go with the kickoff. Or if you are a banker, then you have so many customers and clients day to day visiting to your branch, and then there are lot of negotiation skills, especially if you are into sales and marketing. Yeah, so wherever you feel that negotiation skills are very important, my dear friends, my women friends, this is the time that we should understand how wisely we can, how deeply, first of all, how deeply we can understand this types of negotiation skills, how we know about the steps of negotiation, and how deeply we understand them, and how quickly we actually implement them at our business places, right? So however, this skill also depends on the work environment, the parties involved, and the outcome which is desired from these two parties. So all I gave these examples just to give you a sense where we can apply these negotiation skills and why they are so important. So often when party is ready to for reaching a compromise, and the other party may be resistant, yeah, so here this makes negotiations so difficult, and you are likely to encounter such situations even at the workplace, right? So that is why you need to really master your negotiation skills. You should know in and out what are the negotiation skills, how you can have the steps of negotiations applied to each negotiating situation, or how you can really make a win-win kind of situation with your clients, with your potential customers, so that you get business in the areas, right? So having said this, I just want to take you to the stages of negotiation, right? So classically, I can say that there are four stages of negotiation process. Yeah, there are actually, if you see, the stages are like preparation. Yeah, so preparing in advance can improve your confidence. It can give you the clear goals to work to forward, right? It or towards, yeah. So it can also provide a strategy to base your approach on. So this is the first step, that's the preparation step. Now, in order to achieve a desirable outcome, it may be useful to follow a structured approach to negotiation, right? So all of you who are there putting their putting the chats in their inbox, they're chatting there in the inbox, they're saying that yes, absolutely, madam, yeah. So absolutely, because because unless and until we have this structured approach at the workplace or in the businesses, we really can have the things going, right? So the second one, the first, as I said, preparation. The second one is about discussion. Yeah. The third is about bargaining and closing and learning. So there are so many aspects. So when you bargain, before that you have to have the discussion about what is the conflict is all about, or what do you want to resolve, or how you want to resolve. So then is the next step that you really understand the clarification of the goals, right, with each other. You sit down and you really understand why you want to do this, right? Why you want to come to the resolution, why you want to close this as soon as possible, what is the need, and what is the speed at which you want to really close this, the matter which is there in your hand or under discussion, right? So negotiate always, I will say that even if you have the temptation of bargaining, bargaining is all about creating value for both of you, both the parties, despite of your differences. But it is also about how you can actually come to the win-win outcome. Yeah. So or in agreement where both the parties get benefited. So closing is always so much important, because closing a negotiation can mean coming to an agreement, yeah, or editing the discussion, or ending the discussion in such a way that you have a win-win outcome. So the next action is obviously the implementation of the course of the action, right? So when you are doing this, I also suggest to my clients that they should also have the learnings jotted down somewhere or captured in your minutes if you are drafting the minutes of your negotiation. So this is so important, because then reflecting on the process and learning from your experiences actually enables you to become a better negotiation negotiator, right? So that's why it is so important. If you are always, all my friends, if you are already or always most of the times in the negotiator role at the business place or at the workplace, then it is very much essential that you should also jot down somewhere the learnings which are coming out of that negotiation, and that those learnings, they become your insight, as I said in my earlier session, and then you can apply easily for the next kind of situations which will come across. Yeah. So just a minute, I'll just take a sip of my hot tea. Yeah. Yeah. So, as I said, these are the areas wherein you should know what are the steps or stages of negotiation. Yeah. So, if I have to go back, then I have to really understand the stages as well as the steps of negotiations, right? As I said very clearly, now how you can apply in business. Yeah. So, when in business, when you want to have such kind of negotiations, you have to actually understand there are three stages in the business wherein I mean in the negotiation stage, obviously the pre-negotiation stage, the negotiation stage, and the post-negotiation stage, right? So I can give okay, later on I can capture the example. Yeah. So what is the pre-negotiation stage? Now suppose I want to understand or I want to give one example wherein, suppose if you are at a business place, if you really want to put some of the some kind of offer which you want to make to your potential customers in the negotiation stage, and there is no there is a kind of I did not use the word conflict, but you really want to deliberate on that particular offering or the cost, because that is not agreeable to the your potential customer, and you are actually going for that particular negotiation a day before or 2 days after that, then prior to that there is always a pre-negotiation stage. Like the stage is when a meeting is set and the agenda is agreed on. Yeah. So the parties involved, they determine an unexpected outcome and minimum acceptable outcome, right? So in this case, you know that where you want to close, what kind of the final offer from your side you want to give to your potential customer, as well as the potential customer also knows where they want to really close the deal, right? So both the parties, they know the outcomes from their both sides, so based on that the agenda has to be fixed, right? So that is where pre-negotiation stage is so important. So you should be knowing beforehand what you want to offer the final deal, and what is the expectation from your potential customer or the client, right? So the second stage is the negotiation stage. The parties put their case. Yeah. They put their case and argue against the case of the other side. Okay. And there is again the elements of common ground to be sought, and the parties are prepared to compromise on the minor points, right? So here, if I was, I want to give the same example here. Now you know what you want to offer. Your potential customer knows where to close, right? So here you will have a set of, in the negotiation stage, you will have the set of the discussions, or you will be agreeing. What you will be actually explaining more of your side, why you want to give this deal at that discounted offer, and your potential customer will again come and will discuss why they want to close the deal at that particular rate, right? So have, when you both the parties, you discuss with each other, obviously there is a solution which comes, which is which you can accept, both the parties can accept, with a minor point which gets compromised, right? So post negotiation stage, this is another third stage of the negotiation, wherein after an agreement is reached, an implementation program is established. The negotiations sell the agreement to those not directly involved in the negotiations. So here the negotiators, they actually, like, if I'm the negotiator, then I'm selling that agreement, right? So that is where we need to really, you know, that is where the honesty comes, that is where the integrity comes, that is where, when once we agree to a certain discount or rate, in my example which I was giving, therein we really have to put that agreement in place, and it we have to stick, right? And that is how the businesses run, that is how we run the startups, right? Because even in the startups, these things are so important that once we understand what is pre-negotiation stage, what is negotiation stage, and what is post-negotiation stage, and how quickly we can sell our startup business. Yeah. So having said this, I really want to take you, like before, like again I will reiterate on, or emphasize on the same point, that before any negotiation takes place, a decision needs to be taken as to when and where a meeting will take place to discuss the problem and who will attend. So setting a limited time scale can also be helpful to prevent the disagreement continuing, right? So all of you, yeah. Wow, you all are understanding, right? So nice, very nice. So yeah, time is important and at the same time value, right? So this stage also involves ensuring all the pertinent facts of the situations are known in order to clarify your own position. In the work example, this would also include knowing the rules of your organization, to whom help is given, or when help is not felt appropriate, and the grounds of such refusals. So your organization may well have the policies to which you can refer in preparation for the negotiation. Yeah, so most of the multinationals, yeah, yeah, Raja. Yeah, Raja. Yeah, yeah. So, as you said, Nagarajan, you are perfectly right, because that is where, policies are always led by most of the big companies, and you can refer to those policies if you really want to negotiate a better contract with the suppliers or vendors. Yeah. So, undertaking preparation before discussing the agreement will help to avoid further conflict and unnecessarily wasting time during the meeting. Yeah. So having said this, let's go to the discussion point. Again, I want to give some of the tips. During this stage, individuals or the members of each side, they put forward their case as they see it, right? So that is their understanding of the situation. So here, a person who's having different skills, apart from negotiation, negotiation is also skill is also a kind of a parent, and there are so many child skills, kid skills, I will not term them, but they are so essential, like questioning or listening or clarifying, or having the emotional intelligence during that discussion, or to understanding the customer needs, or applying the wisdom or your previous knowledge or anything, all these skills are so important when you sit across for discussion with your potential customers, or at workplace also, right, with your vendors, or within your function cross functional stakeholders. Yeah. So sometimes it is helpful to take notes also during the discussion stage, to record all the points put forward in case there is need for further clarification. So this is what I want to give to all of the young ladies who here. If you are sitting for a negotiation, always take notes of the small points, so that even if you want to have more kind of information, or you want a clarification, you can quickly, because then it doesn't get skipped in the discussion, right? So it is extremely important, even to listen. huh? Listen, because as when disagreement takes place, it is easy to make the the negotiation. Yeah. Now there is one more which is kind of clarifying the goals. Yeah. So, from the discussion, the goals, the interest areas, or the viewpoints of both the parties, or the both the sides of the disagreement need to be clarified. Yeah. So, it is so helpful, because to list the factors in order of priority, it is so helpful that you should clarify the goals, prioritize the areas wherein you have the disagreement, and where there you want to focus on. through this clarification, it is often possible to identify or establish, yeah, to identify or establish some common ground. So clarification is always an essential part of the negotiation process, because without that, the misunderstandings are likely to occur, which may complicated situations, may may cause some more problems, and maybe some communication barriers, so that we don't then reach to a beneficial outcome. And that's why it is so important that wherever possible, you need to clarify the goals of the discussion, you need to clarify the goals of that disagreement, where you want to reach, how you want to reach. And if you need any clarification, then how you have to break those communication barriers. You have to really be upfront, while putting or getting clarified your goals. So having said this, let's go to the next stage, which I can say negotiate towards a win-win outcome. Always, yeah, that should be your goal, because this stage focuses on what is win-win, because where both the sides, they feel that they have gained something positive through the process of negotiation. Because then otherwise there is always a feeling at the back of the mind of one of the party that there is no justice which is done to the agreement, yeah. So both the sides should feel that there is a point of view that which they had, that has been taken into consideration, yeah. So a win-win outcome is usually the best result. So I take this as a thumb rule, girls. And you should always strive to see that you get a win-win outcome from the situation. Although this may not be always possible, but you can try your best. Through negotiation, it is possible. That should be the ultimate goal of your negotiation process. Yeah. So suggestions of alternative strategies or compromises need to be considered at this point, because that is where you can, if you are in businesses, you can actually through that strategy, if you work out on alternate strategies, then you can really come out, you can build in the trust in your potential customers or in your current existing customers, and really compromise in such a better way that your business gets flourished, yeah. So compromises are often positive alternatives which can often achieve greater benefits, yeah. So having said this, let's go to the agreement part of it. So once that agreement is achieved, and once the understanding of both the sides and their viewpoints are taken into consideration, interests are taken into consideration, that is where agreement is so fruitful, right? So it is essential to it's an essential part, right? So for everybody involved, they have to keep an open mind in order to achieve an acceptable agreement or solution. So any agreement which needs to be made perfectly clear, so that both the sides know what has been decided. So this is so important, that when you close any kind of negotiation with the customer, with the minutes of meeting drafted properly, with the agreement in place, and that goes to all stakeholders, after the negotiation is over, then that is really where and everybody within the team, or at your workplace, or within the two business partners, both the parties, they know that this was the agreement on which everyone agreed, and that will actually will be useful in implementing a course of action. So let's go to the implementation of the course of action. Now, so from the agreement, a course of action, once it is implemented, then that is where every business succeeds, right? So sometimes I just want to touch base on one more important point, that is failure to agree, yeah. So like sometimes it happens, I'm not denying that sometimes the negotiations, even after two rounds, three rounds at business places or in businesses, or maybe multiple rounds, more than that, so many times people come and then they negotiate, and then again there is a resolution which doesn't come up, and then always that is where there is a chances of failure, right? So you have to have the tendency in those circumstances, you have to have the failure to agree. So if the process of the negotiation takes it breaks down and the agreement cannot be reached, then rescheduling a further meeting or multiple meetings can really give a solution which can be beneficial to both the parties. So this can take some time. This avoids actually all parties becoming embroiled in heated discussion or argument, which is not only the waste of time for everybody but also can damage future relationships. So in such cases, when in the negotiation, let's say after some time spending into the negotiation round, if you say that the both the parties are not coming to the closure, not coming to a compromise, then it is better to stop the discussion there, call for the second round maybe next week, or say after 15 days, or say tomorrow or day after tomorrow, or maybe this is the way you can give some time, instead of having those heated discussions, bitter feelings, or damaging the relationship. So it's better, yeah. So many those who are yeah, I see few remarks on even on the personal relationship. So I agree with that. So at the subsequent meeting, the stages of negotiation then can be repeated. Yeah. So any new ideas or interests that are have come of new things have come in that period. In that period from where in the last negotiation took place, that can be taken into account. That can be taken into consideration. So at this stage, it may also be helpful to look at other alternatives coming from this new fresh kind of looking at the situation. Yeah. So maybe you can bring in another person to mediate in between. So all these things you can work out. Yeah. So having said this, I just want to quickly take you to the workplace. Where this classical negotiation skill, they play so much important, yeah, role. Yeah. 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 So many times, many positions at workplace, or even if you are a CEO, or if you are the founder of your new startup or something like that, you require a lot of negotiation skills. So it's simply like I can give example, working as a part of the team, or or you regularly negotiate with your clients if you are into that role, business development, or you are into market research, or you are directly into the sales. The honing these skills will make you better. That will make you better able to build that trust within the teams or with your clients, communicate effectively, and productively settle the differences. So there are kind of 12 top skills in the business which are identified, which can make you an effective negotiator. So I'm quickly going to take you all to these skills, through these skills. And I know that most of you here who are actually into the leadership role, they know that these skills are so important, right? So I just want to quickly take you through these skills, because yes, Shraddha, you are right. Yeah, because there are areas in the workplace where in management negotiations, there are several types of negotiations which take place at workplace. Management negotiations, or co-worker negotiations, or vendor negotiations, or kind of a distributive negotiations, or for that matter, interrogative negotiations. So most of these negotiations, they are considered to be either win-win or win-lose, right? So a win-win negotiation is should be your top priority, right? Sorry. So while a win-lose negotiation, in which only one party gets benefited and the other party loses, you know, that should not be the goal or the objective or the aim of your negotiation. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, give me a moment. Yeah, because I'm looking at the comments there. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, Swati. Right. Yeah, right. So preparation or discussion of the information or the clarification of the goals, as you said it, bargaining, agreement, execution. These are all the important stages of any negotiation. And for that, you need to know a lot of other business skills. Yeah. So these business skills, they're so essential. Yeah. They're so essential. And one of them, which is a very important one, is the communication skill. So I want to take you not in a elaborated way because that I'm going to cover in the next sessions probably. So communication skills, how you communicate can make or break a negotiation. So you must be able to effectively convey your message in an easy to understand manner as well as understand the other party's message. Yeah, so it can be a verbal communication, it can be non-verbal, it can be written communication skills. So these are all essential. Those who are into the government jobs, for them the written communication is so important when they are in the negotiating process, right? So listening skills, now when you are actually into the business development, or you want to have some kind of amalgamation of your business, or if you want to really take over some organization, listening skills are also important in business development professionals, because once the strong skill listening skills will make you a better negotiator, as you can ensure, no, because all these listening skills, they ensure that you hear and understand what the other party is trying to convey to you, as well as you also show the respect to other party, right? So active listening is key when you are in a negotiating process, and it can actually help you build trust with your potential partner or potential customer. no, pursues. Yeah, yes. Yeah, absolutely, Pratap. You are right. Yeah. So persuasion skills, I'm coming to that. Yeah, these are influencing others. Yeah, these are influencing others. That is also an important component of negotiation. Many people, they have got good skills in this area. They have fantastic persuasion skill. Those with coming from a experienced background, they are the best people to pursue, right? Yeah, so good persuasion skills allows you to successfully propose a business proposal or a solution that benefits both the parties and encourages the other party to agree with your proposal. So you should have those skills, my dear friends. Yeah. So strategizing skills, classically into BD, as I said, business development, these strategizing allows you to see multiple solutions to a problem. Yeah, and it also ensures that you are prepared with a backup plan in the event that other party doesn't agree with your initial offer. So you should also have a strategy homework done before you get into the negotiation, right? So planning skills, that is again, it falls back on the planning part. So negotiation don't start after a meeting, rather effective planning is necessary prior to sit for the negotiation. Yeah, to resolve some of the conflicts. So strong planning skills, they ensure that you are prepared to execute the decisions made in a successful manner. Like after that win-win solution. Now, decision making skills, these are very so important for all the leaders, all the business leaders, because many decisions which are made during the most complex negotiation situations, the good decision making skills will support your ability to successfully negotiate. All of you agree? Yes. Yeah, because that is where you need to know where you take the final call, where you take the final offer to close it. that is where you know where how will you implement it. So decision making skills, they are so essential when you actually, you want to close it so successfully, and that also, in your favor, yeah, without even know the other party knowing about it, yeah. So the problem solving skills, now this is another thing which is, many negotiations they take place to find a resolution to a particular problem, right? So good problem skills, the solving skills, that will allow you always, to arrive at the negotiation with effective and viable solution for both the parties, yeah. And that is so essential, right, my women friends, because we women, we are always given that, it's a god gifted skill that we always try to resolve the problem, yeah. We always try to find out solution to the problem, and that is where we, coming from, this domain skill, we can really impact or influence lot of negotiation discussions. So rapport building skills, this is another aspect, it's different from persuasion, it is different from listening, because building the rapport is also another influencing kind of skill, wherein the other party ensures which whoever is the other party, they start trusting you, yeah, because you can make them more willing to see your point of view rather than just, having the heated kind of discussion. So build that rapport with your clients. Maybe before meeting you can call them over a phone, or maybe you can exchange some of the good mails, or maybe you can really make them aware about your products before you sit for negotiation. Maybe these are all the rapport building skills, yeah. So emotional intelligence, that is another skill which I want to take you through, that keeping your emotions in check as well as reading the emotions of others during the negotiation is so crucial to ensure that the meeting doesn't get off track, yeah, and your emotions, they don't get the best of you, yeah. Because sometimes it happens that, sometimes people lose their temper, their ego gets hurt during the negotiation, or they don't open up, or there are some communication barriers which don't see, but they start forming. So here the emotional intelligence is so important. So good emotional intelligence skills, they are like, to work on include self-regulation, or having empathy about your client, or what are they saying about, their current situation, or having the self-awareness, or motivating your clients or your potential, classically counselor, they have this kind of, emotional intelligence skill, so well developed inside them, that they can come to the conclusion very effectively. At the workplace, teamwork skills are so important. That is another skill. Many negotiations, they are held by two different parties, right? So each party can consist of more than one or two people, right? So working as a team with your party is such an important component to ensure that everyone in your team, as well as those who are actually coming as a team to negotiate it with you, they are on the same page. Because within the team also, if you are not on the same page, then it can really impact your negotiation process, yeah. So teamwork skills are so essential before you actually, it is a kind of, basket product to your negotiation skill. That now I will conclude. So analytical skills. Now, coming to this part, this is also so critical thinking, or you can say analytical skills and critical thinking. So these are the skills for, analyzing both sides of the situation, determining the ways in which both parties can get benefited after the agreement. That is so important for a peaceful negotiation. So analytical skills allow you to understand the complex issues and come to the table with a in-depth understanding of the situation. So this is very important. Like before you get into the negotiation meeting, it is so important that you have done your analysis completely done. You understand what is that complex issue. You know how it is going to end. You also know about the outcome beforehand, because when you analyze, you can proactively, start working on so many other things so that there is a fruitful outcome coming from that negotiation. So skills to work, in this category, as I said earlier, critical thinking, doing a little bit research. A lot of things are available on Google nowadays, so you can use that platform to analyze certain complex issue which you are going to have into that negotiation meeting. You can be ready with a lot of information and data. So these are the analytical skills which you can, with which you can really have a good negotiation. Now, goal setting skill. These are also very important, because if you don't know what is the outcome which you are expecting from that negotiation, I think the discussion can be really kind of, without any conclusion. Yeah. So, the goal setting skills, they actually, it's like knowing how to actually set viable goals that represent both the parties' interest. That can be a kind of, a very, very successful negotiation. So, those things which you need to have in this goal setting skill, like, time management, or focus on the discussion, focus on the goals, and focus on the points which you really want to cover in the negotiation, or the flexibility. If something new is coming during the discussion, how you can quickly take it as a goal and accommodate it into your discussion and have a win-win solution. Yeah. So these I said about, mostly they were at the workplace. Now, even in the business, yeah, you should be able to speak very confidently about your business. How many of you agree here? Because I see sometimes we also have the lack of confidence when we talk about our own business. Yeah, a lot of wow movement, bulb movement here. Yeah, yeah, yes. So, that is why it is so essential, such kind of skills, how you want to speak about your business, about your products, or about your services, why you feel you will be a good fit with your potential client or customer or investor. These are all the important things, negotiation skills for a business. So you also must be prepared to answer 11 questions which will come to the negotiation table, like, financial or sales questions. So these are all important, kind of tips which I'm giving. So as a business professional, it is almost, guaranteed that you need to participate in negotiations, right? So you don't have to shy away from this, regardless of your job or the title of your industry or the type of your industry. There is always a phase where you have to really do the business negotiations, right? So all of you agree to that? Yeah, yeah. So the chances are that you already anticipate in them. You already anticipate such kind of situations in your life, right? So you have to realize also that you will have to go through these kind of, processes. Some of the other point in your career. So negotiations, like, I can give examples like a job offer, or asking for a raise, or making the case for a budget, for the forthcoming budget, increase, your productivity, or buying or selling a property, or closing a sale deal. These are all some examples which you, as a business person, you will get involved, right? So you likely flex, your negotiation skills in your personal life too, right? So how many of you agree to that? Because there are so many areas, right, wherein even in your personal life you have to negotiate with your children. I have seen, nowadays young mothers, they actually negotiate so much to the with their own small toddlers, right, so that they can eat, for their meal completely. Yeah. They give, nowadays, these mobiles when they are actually feeding their kids, or sometimes if your child is in the age of youth, then probably you always give a kind of a negotiate with the time which they will spend on the screen, TV screen, right? So or maybe if your husband is not coming on time, or going to get late, and he has the habit of coming late to any event where you both have to go, then probably you negotiate, what time he will be reaching and what time he wants you or you want him to pick up. Yeah, so all these are some examples of, in personal life how you negotiate. Yeah, so if you want to strike effective deals and improve the outcomes of future negotiations, you need an arsenal of skills. Yeah, what is that arsenal of skills? So investing time and energy into developing them and learning those negotiation processes can prepare you to maximize value at the bargaining table. How many Balgon moments here? Yeah, because at the table, when you really sit across with your clients or customers, you really need to have these skills. Yeah, so enhancing your negotiation skills has a has an enormous payoff in terms of monetary gains, in terms of your reputation, in terms of your self-image or image in the market. So that is how the Harvard Business School professor Michael Beaver says. Yeah. So he say that it allows you to reach agreements that might otherwise slip through your fingers. So when you really have those negotiation skills as a part of your inside, it's a part of your soul, it's a part of your image, it's a part of your business strategy, then it allows you to reach the agreement, right? Otherwise, there are chances that they can slip also through, right? And you will lose business, you will lose the business growth opportunities, right? So it allows you to expand the to the table to create value, so you get more benefits from that agreement that you otherwise you would have said that, okay, I don't want to work on that. Yeah, so in some cases it allows you to resolve the small differences before they really escalate into big conflicts. So it's always so easy to negotiate for small things so that you get benefits from the bigger things. Yeah, so there are some six essential skills even in the business, so through which you can develop your knowledge and confidence. So I just want to take you again quickly through few things, like as I have covered communication already for the even for the businesses and entrepreneurs. This is so important that you clearly communicate with your client, what you are hoping to walk away and where your boundaries lie. And effective negotiators develop that communication skill so that they allow their customers or the clients to engage in civil discussion and work towards an agreeable solution. So deal making requires a lot of give and take. So it's so critical to articulate your thoughts and actively listen to others, in businesses, come up with the new innovative ideas to market your product, to sell your product. And sometimes, to understand the client needs, you have to be very innovative. You have to have that communication skill where you exchange the information with each other and you get, I want to give one example here. On one day I was normally, I go to shopping to buy my, so the cosmetics. Yeah, so that on that particular day I happened to go to a shopping, instead of a shopping mall, to a local market. And there I wanted to really buy some of the products, some of the cosmetic products at a very cheap level, at a very comparatively at a very good rate, so that I wanted to buy the entire kind of the basket of the products for my daily makeup routine. So here I just thought, sorry, I'm so sorry. Here I was there in the market and I was in front of a shop, and there was a lady sitting there, and I just told her that, uh, I want to buy some cosmetics. And you know what, that is the clear communication goal. She asked me very specifically, ma'am, where are you working and in which area? Yeah, what is your profession? And I said, oh wow, that is a good question, right? And the moment I said that I'm a mentor and coach, she immediately, she asked me, okay, what are the types of products which you are looking, what are the, one, two, three, four, five, and you just tell me. And I said, oh, I want I want a primer, I want a for liquid foundation. And the moment I told her about my profession and my requirement. She, within a fraction of, let's say, 1 minute, she got all the products in front of me, and she made a good deal, and even I made a good deal. So when I really knew what I wanted, and she also knew what she wanted to give, right? After listening to my or after understanding my requirement. So this is where I feel, deal making requires a lot of give and take. And when the communication is very clear, and even the other party understands it very clearly, these are the areas where you have a fruitful outcome. So obviously I ended up buying a lot of products which otherwise I wouldn't have bought from the shopping mall. But yes, I got a good deal. Yeah. So there is another one is about emotional intelligence in the business. Yeah. So for better or worse, emotions play a very important role in all negotiations, and you can use them to your advantage. Yeah. So especially those who are in businesses, now positive emotions can increase feelings of trust at the bargaining table. Similarly, you can channel anxiety or nervousness into the excitement. Yeah. So when I just want to again go back to this, the same kind of example wherein when I bought my things, and then the girl who was at the shopping store, she just asked me, ma'am, when you say mentoring or coaching, which are the areas in which you actually do the mentoring? And I said, which are those skills? And I said, oh, time management. And she just immediately asked me, what is it, what about the time management? And I was like, I said I was not expecting the question, right? But the moment I settled with my, inner, core, I said, oh, wow, that's a nice question. And I just told her. Now, the minute I told you my requirement, and the minute you understood your requirement, you just took 2 minutes to give all the products and put it on the table for me. So that is known as the time management. So this is how, you understand the emotional intelligence, how to handle this situation. So you need a high degree of emotional intelligence to read other parties' emotions, right? So this can enable you to pick up on what they are implying rather than explicitly stating an advantageously managed. And so even if she had the curiosity, this girl had a curiosity that she wanted to understand from me what I was offering. But then, how with the emotional intelligence I could manage the show, and she got a fruitful kind of information from me. So going through the third skill, which is a kind of planning skill in businesses, planning ahead with a clear idea of what you hope to achieve, and whether your boundaries in lie boundaries lie is essential to any negotiation. Now I remember my days when actually I had started with my business, on this entrepreneurship venture, and I just thought, being a mentor and coach, what can I offer? Because that was a question which was asked to me by a potential client, and he requested, what kind of products which you have, and what are the costs. And I was like, I was just in the startup kind of phase, and I had really not worked on that. Yeah. So I took lot of time, lot of efforts to Google, or to find out more from my friends, or my from my business friend, what kind of products which I can give as a mentor and coach for the executive grooming, for the grooming of women, for those who really need career counseling, or for all that planning, which if you do it beforehand. And when I went with all the products and the basket products which I had to offer as a mentor to that party, or to that client, I was so well prepared. Yeah. So when you have certain kind of, when somebody challenges you for your products or services, there is a conflict which goes on, and there is always a better and smarter way of doing the planning beforehand. So with the adequate preparation, that's what I'm trying to tell you, girls, that you can overlook important terms of your deal, or alternative solutions. Yeah. So first consider the zone of possible agreement. I classically name it as, I have read it. I had read it somewhere. It's known as a ZOPA. Yeah, ZOPA. So sometimes it is called the bargaining zone. Yeah. So ZOPA is the range in which you and the other parties, they can find the common ground. So a positive bargaining zone exists always when the terms you are willing to agree to overlap. So a negotiation, a negative one exists when they don't. Yeah, so you have to understand the zone of possible agreement before you get into negotiation. So next, it is beneficial to understand your best alternative to a negotiable or negotiated agreement. That is, I have termed it as, I had read all those articles somewhere, and I had short form it as BATNA, okay? So ZOPA and BATNA. So if your discussion it lands in a negative bargaining zone, your BATNA, your best alternative has to be ready, and that is the course of action you will take if the negotiation is unsuccessful, right? So knowing your BATNA can ensure you have a backup plan if you can't reach an agreement. So you should always go in a negotiation at business place with a backup plan. So it can also help you avoiding leaving the table empty-handed. Yeah. So yeah, right. So those who are entrepreneurships, now value creation is also one of the key skills, and that should be you should add to your negotiation toolkit. Why I'm saying this? Because you need to actually understand the importance. You have to illustrate that importance. Consider how you can. I just want to give some insights to you. When participating in a negotiation, you and the other party typically they try to bargain, right? They try to obtain their biggest slice of pie, I can say. Yeah. So when you want to do it, what do you want to do it? Yeah. So when you are actually discussing that, you have to maximize your slice. Yeah. Inherently, that means what? Yeah, someone will get a smaller piece, right? But to avoid this, now shift your goals when you're discussing from growing your slice to expanding the whole pie. Yeah. So the benefits of doing so are twofold. The first one is you realize that you are giving a greater value. You also realize your greater value. And secondly, you can establish a sense of rapport and trust with your potential client. Yeah, with your current existing customer or at your workplace. So the future discussion they really become. Sometimes बोलते हैं ना कि थोड़ा सा पाने के लिए थोड़ा सा खोना पड़ता है, तो बहुत कुछ पाने के लिए थोड़ा खो देंगे, तो there is no this, right? So I'm translating in English now, those who don't understand Hindi. So to lose something or to gain something, you have to lose something. And if you want to gain something big, and if there is a logic in losing something small, you should do it. That is the best thing. Yeah. So you are creating value, and at the same time you are getting your things done, right? So the next one is strategy. Yeah. So in addition to I'm not only talking about the business and the entrepreneurs here. Yeah, those who are into businesses. So in addition to the thorough preparation and then ability to create value, there is also a need to clearly understand the effective negotiation tactics. How many of you agree? Yeah, absolutely. Yes, yeah. Ria is saying yes, absolutely, ma'am. Yes, absolutely. By knowing what works and what doesn't, you can tailor your strategy for effective negotiation. So develop a strong negotiation strategy, with the two steps, and these are the very important. There are some steps which are so crucial. Not two steps, but there are four steps which I can, always discuss with you. Define your goal. Yeah, in the strategy, you have to define what you want to. When you are sitting for a negotiation, you have to define your role. You have to understand your value. You have to consider your counterpart's vantage point. You have to understand the check-in in yourself. You have to check yourself. You have to check inside you, right? So following this process can enable you to formulate a clear plan for bargaining table. Yeah. So by understanding the roles of those involved, yeah, by understanding those who are involved, the value they are offering to the organization or to the business or in your business or in your partnership, their advantages of they being there in the discussion, you can work towards a common goal. So checking in with yourself throughout the negotiation can also actually ensure that you stay on the path to success. So there is another moment which I want to take to explain about reflection. Yeah. So finally, to round out your negotiation skills and develop your proficiency, you always have to reflect on the past negotiation, because that will give you more insight and you can identify areas of improvement. Yeah. So after each negotiation, successful or not, if it is, even if it is a failure, think about what went well, think about what went wrong, think about what could have gone better. So doing so can allow you to evaluate the tactics. Yeah. So that can work in your favor, and those that fail a short well for future discussion. So next, identify the areas you want to work on and create a plan of action. So for example, if you had a trouble, right? If you had a trouble aligning your goals with your counterparts, and then you have to review your concept, what is the alternative which you can give for the next negotiations, and what is that, which you really want to understand your zopa. Yeah. So that is where, because if there is a zone of possible agreement which you don't understand, and whether you don't have the strategy which is an alternative solution with you before, if you get that insight for your future negotiations, I think then that is the best way of learning. So how to negotiate professionally, no matter your strengths and what weaknesses you have, practice is a sure short way to develop your skills. So always, don't shy away. The more you negotiate, the more you negotiate, the more prepared you are for the future events, right? So structured learning opportunities, they can be very highly beneficial. So there are a lot of trainings which are available. So even if you want such kind of trainings, I can give you those trainings. I can mentor you in that area. So there are so many mentors who are available who can groom you in that area. So in case if you want to really get in touch with me, you can get in touch with me at the rate enduring genesis, at the rate, I will just say my Gmail, it's enduringgenesis at the rate gmail.com, or you can visit my Facebook page with the name Enduring Genesis. You can visit my Instagram. You can get in touch with me for one-on-one mentoring. So these are the areas, how you ladies can really give the best shot to all these negotiations, because these are the these are all leadership skills. Yeah. Because once you master those skills, where it will take you. Because once you master, because negotiation can happen at all levels, at all steps in your career. And if you are not prepared, that, because that is a classically one of the most important leadership skills. If the better you negotiate, the better you grow. Yeah. Because such leaders are needed in the industry, right? Such leaders are needed in the businesses, because they make the things happen. Yeah. So there is always a win-win situation. They make the things happen. They take the businesses to the next level. They are so much essential for the growth of your team. So when you are better in these skills, you can understand what kind of exponential growth they can give you, for a successful life. So understand the importance, ladies, and you have the mentors, who can actually mentor you and guide you, give the concepts, give the how to acquire these skills, how to use these skills, how to really use these skills for your own growth, your team's growth, your business growth, your startup growth. These are all important things. So I will always advise to each one of you that you please get in touch with your mentors. And if you really have, I'm always open for any kind of one-on-one mentorship, or even if I don't have time, then still I can really answer a lot of your queries. And I tell you that for small things I really definitely it's a negotiable deal. Now, having said this, coming to the last part of my session, which I always end up with very good, quotes from all leaders across the globe. So one is from Sheryl Sandberg. She's my favorite. So of course, she says, of course, you realize that you are hiring me to run your deal teams. So you want me to be a good negotiator. Yeah. So she says very clearly, yeah. She says very clearly, of course you realize that you are hiring me to run your deal teams. Yeah. So you want me to be a good negotiator. So what she's trying to say here, yeah, better be a good negotiator, right? So there is another one which is from Harvey Mackay. Yeah. So you do not get what you want, you get what you negotiate. So understand this. Women classically, you need to understand this, that you get what you negotiate. Yeah. So what you want you never get, but what you negotiate you always get. So remember this strategy. This is a very important quote which is from Harvey, and I want you to give a complete in-depth thought to this quote. Yeah. So the third one, be it, in business, it's classically from Christopher. Yeah. Not sorry, not from Christopher. It is from Kester. Yeah. So Karas. So he says, in business as in life, you don't get what you deserve, you get what you negotiate. So sometimes it happens, even if you see some people who are succeeding, but you know that they are not good leaders. Yeah, they are not good leaders in other areas, but they are good in negotiation. They actually get what they don't deserve. So understand this, a very powerful thing. It's a quote which says that even if you are lacking in some of the skills, but you know how to better, how you negotiate better in some of the areas in business or at your workplace, then probably all those people, they don't really deserve, but they know how to negotiate and they succeed. Yeah. So understand the importance of negotiation. Now, having said this, another one is from John Kennedy, and it says that let us never negotiate out of fear. Yeah. But let us never fear the negotiation. This is where I want to encourage you. I'm repeating this. Let us never negotiate out of fear. Yeah. But let us never fear to negotiate. This is so important for a shameless pitch. So even if you are in a negotiation discussion and you are fearful, what kind of how can I give this offer? How can I give close this deal so that it comes in my favor? You just have to. You just don't have to be fearful, ladies. You just have to see to it that you negotiate. You don't have the fear to negotiate, just negotiate. Yeah, because that is where your growth opportunities, your arenas are open, your horizons can widen. So I always tell you that, never think out of fear when you are negotiating. You can do it fearlessly. Yeah. Having said this, I just want to sign off from this session because I'm getting a lot of calls, and I think that is getting captured here because I haven't kept my mobile on silent mode. So having said this, I wish you, all of you, that you all succeed with this negotiation, acquiring these negotiation skills, and putting them into practice. And I know you all women, all those who are main participant, they are also smart enough to understand what is the importance of negotiation skills in all areas of life. So having said this, I'm signing off. Take care. We'll come up with a new thing tomorrow at the same time, mostly, or maybe a little late, or maybe a little early, based on my time schedule. So having said this, taking care, take care girls, take care women, love you all, bye.